Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the C-Man, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the C-Man's Cinema. Sit down at the desk, taking a look at some trailers. We just checked out the trailer that dropped today, Eddington. If you want to see my reactions to the upcoming Ari Aster flick coming in July, you can see them right up there. But now we turn our attention to some trailers that I've missed over the last few weeks, and I believe it was last week that this trailer dropped. It is another one of those most anticipated movies of the year for me. I'm a massive Guillermo del Toro fan, and the idea of him adapting and playing with some Mary Shelley stuff, yeah, it's got the C-Man pretty excited. And then you throw in Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, and Jacob Elordi, and you already had my money, but you can take the same amount you take every month, Netflix, because you guys are terrible, and this is not going to theaters, which is so depressing. Like, the fact that this movie is not going to be in theaters kills me. I really wish Netflix would change their approach. But even despite that, I am super stoked for this one. What are we talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair? Take a seat. We are getting ready to take a look at the official teaser trailer for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and the first of two Frankenstein movies that we have coming this year. Good old Maggie Gyllenhaal is directing I think, Bride of Frankenstein movie. I think the movie is called The Bride, and that'll have Christian Bale in it, and that I'm excited to see what we get there. But the idea of Guillermo doing Frankenstein proper with Jacob Elordi playing Frankenstein's monster and Oscar Isaac playing Frankenstein, it's super exciting. I'm such a fan of Guillermo. I love a good monster flick, especially the classic ones. And, you know, Universal tried to get the ball rolling with that Dark Universe, back in the day, and that didn't work out. And now have had two movies that have come to us from writer-director Lee Winnell. And I dug what he did with The Invisible Man. I dug what he did with The Werewolf. And while this is not a Universal movie and wouldn't tie into what Lee has been cooking up, it's fun to go back to those classic monsters. And having arguably the biggest monster fan of all time directing and writing the Frankenstein movie, it's just super exciting. And even though this is not going to the big screen, which feels like a travesty, just off the images that had come out before this trailer, that first look image of Isaac standing in his laboratory looking out that window, you can see the monster on the table. It just looks scale-wise massive. So it sucks that it's not going to theaters. I'm hoping that it'll play at the Paris here in New York, or in New York. I'm in Connecticut. You know what I'm talking about. But that's something that I could go get to, because I think this should be seen on big screens. Netflix, you really got to start picking movies to just be streaming, and movies that you're willing to go to the box office to make some of that money back directly. But anyway, despite all of that, I am very excited. I will certainly be watching this as soon as it drops, and I can't wait to take a look at this trailer. So let's get the trailer up for you guys. I have it in front of me, and let's not waste any more time and take a look at the official teaser trailer for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
I had determined that the memory of my evils should die with me.
That's man. Also, Isaac already doing work just with the voice. Ooh, I like that lightning bolt on Del Toro.
What I will tell you is fact. Some is not, but it is all true.
Oh, what is that? Dude, I
What
like
manner
that
of creature is that?
He looks like a crazed scientist dude.
What manner of devil made him? I did.
He looks like a dude who's gonna have a god complex. I love that. Love Oscar for
I
this
had a
role
vision.
too.
An idea took shape in my mind.
That's wild.
Inevitable. Unavoidable.
I don't think I've read Frankenstein.
Until it became truth.
Look at that laboratory. I love it. I don't think I read the book when I was a kid. There's me. Ooh, that's cool.
life.
Oh, look at the Lordy!
I created death.
Seeking life, I created death. Yeah, baby. Are we gonna get a look at him? I want to see. Oh! Ooh, Victor. Oh man, I'd say like it's like I was saying. I don't know if I ever read Frankenstein in full when I was a kid. They adapted like a lot of the classic novels into like young adult novels that you could read. And I used to read like all sorts of the classics. 27 Leagues Under the Sea. Dracula. Like I don't know if I ever read Frankenstein. And it'd be interesting. Maybe I should listen to Frankenstein on Audible, because there seems like a lot of things at play here, especially around like all of these frozen elements, that I don't remember being in the Frankenstein story. And I feel like the Frankenstein story for me is like creating him, when Frank being alive, trying to teach him to be a person, and then he terrorizes the town and everybody comes with their pitchforks. And this looks like so much more than that, which is really dope. Again, it's one of those things where you know that you're going to get the story, but Guillermo's going to put a little Guillermo on it, right? And I think when it comes to adaptations, the best example of that is Pinocchio, right? He did a lot of different things with Pinocchio, and it elevated that story. You don't lose the core Pinocchio story at all in that, but I won't lie to you. When it comes to the Disney flicks, Pinocchio is not one of my favorites. That Guillermo del Toro animated, stop motion Pinocchio, I like that more than a bunch of Disney movies. So knowing what he can do when he adapts things like that, it'll be really cool, and probably why I should, read the book. But it'll be cool to see what he adds, what kind of Guillermo del Toro things he brings into it. And I love that he went and got Oscar Isaac. Like, Oscar is about as good as they come in Hollywood for me. I got to see him in Sidney Brustein's Window on Broadway with Rachel Brosnahan, and he's just like, it's one of those things this year I've gone to, the last couple of years I've been going more to Broadway. And as much as I'm more here for Broadway and theater actors being on stage than stunt castings, the stunt castings that I've gotten to see, like, you really appreciate the craft when it's like your favorite actors on stage doing it right in front of you. And he's so talented. I mean, the minute you heard his voice, you were like, ooh, Oscar's locked in. He's doing something. And then throughout the course of the trailer, like, as you see him at these different points in his life, like here, you can already see and feel that arrogance in his face, looking at all these men. Like, you wish you could be God, right? Like, it's already there just in the look and in his delivery, Christoph looking great and almost not like Christoph, right? So I'll be interested to see how he's involved. That's the other thing, too, is like your main cast after Isaac, Waltz, Mia Goth, Jacob Elordi, we see so little of the other three. So I like, again, as far as teasers go, I think this gives you plenty, but is certainly holding a bunch of things, and I'm always here for stuff like that. But just kind of going through, like, look at what does he do? Like, is that like just the things that he's playing with? It feels like there's more there than what I remember from the Frankenstein story. But like, I love this. Like, he looks like a madman going to the ends of the earth to find whatever he is looking for that will give life, but is ultimately going to bring death. I love all of this, like, cold, frozen stuff. Like, he's clearly going to push himself to the brink, and that's going to lead to whatever it is that gets him to create Frankenstein, right? Create his own life, become a god. I stopped here. These red gloves, I thought that was blood. They are just red leather gloves. But in like motion, I was like, oh man, that guy's got blood all over his hands. Like, what are we up to, Oscar? Love that. Anyway, I'm wondering if that's maybe his wife, and that's what's driving him to bring, life back from death. Again, I really need to listen to Frankenstein. Maybe that'll be my next Audible book. But anyway, like as you're going, like just the different phases, right? Like I like you're seeing Frankenstein not just flat on a table as he's building him, which is fun. The laboratory, it looks brilliant. I love how big it is. I love how much space there is. He's got 3 dead bodies on the ground. Oh, Dr. Frankenstein. No, he's got more there. I think there are more bodies up there. Man, Doc, you've been busy. I mean, we know he's gonna bring dead bodies in, but like some of these look kind of fresh. Oh, I'm so here for this. Mia Goth looking fantastic as always. I really love her so much. She's so unique. She brings such a different feeling on screen than a lot of actors, and I can't wait to see what Guillermo and her are cooking up together. I think that's a match made in heaven. Like when you know Goth's background and her filmography, working with someone like Guillermo del Toro seems like a no-brainer, and I'm so happy that it's happening. But then stuff like this too, man. Like this shot, this just feels so Guillermo, you know what I mean? And the fact that it's moving, right? Like the hand moving out there, and like that crest. What is like the are we going internal with the look of that abdomen? I love like just the classic Guillermo imagery that you get. I'm assuming this is probably something that like Frankenstein has seen in his head. And then to get to like going the full length, like look at this whole shot too was just one where it's like I love the only monsters. Again, I thought his hands were bleeding. It's just the gloves. By God, like I love those seeing like the lengths he's going to cut. Like the waking up of Frankenstein, I think is gonna be freaking cool. I do like though that look at his eyes. Like he I think he's also like a little scared of what it is that he's pulling up. Like this does not look like your traditional Frankenstein. Like I don't see like a lot of stitching work, or I guess there are some like different elements to his body. On his legs it's kind of more apparent. Oh, and up on the arms, okay, cool. But like just the visual, like Frankenstein, I thought ELORDI was a good choice just from the height perspective, but he's really lanky and Frank is like really big, so I assumed that like we were gonna have like prosthetics or things on him, because we've obviously seen Del Toro do that with Hellboy and Ron Perlman. But I kind of like the approach of like, you know what, no, let this be like a strong but long, lean, big Frankenstein. So I like playing with just like very minimal makeup on ELORDI. That's really cool. And then like if you're looking at that and you're like, man, that guy's not big enough to be Frankenstein. That's what I love here in this stinger, is him being on this frozen boat, clearly looking for Vic. Like, yeah, he's big and scary. Oh man, I love that we got to hear his voice, because like one of those like speeches, it takes a while for Frankenstein and more of the classics. So it was like I thought ELORDI was gonna be doing a lot of grunting, you know, a lot of Tim Allen. I've been watching a lot of Home Improvement on Netflix since it dropped there. So a lot of the grunting. So giving more than that. And again, things I haven't traditionally seen with Frankenstein, gives ELORDI a little bit more, so that makes it more exciting, because I do like ELORDI quite a bit as an actor. So yeah, this looks fantastic. I'm not shocked. Everything Guillermo does is fantastic, in my opinion. I absolutely love the dude, and you know, I love when we get to see him play in different realms and things, but going back to do a classic monster movie is so exciting, and he has a stellar cast with him for this one. I am super stoked for Frankenstein. The question is, what about you? What is working here? Are you more familiar with the Mary Shelley book Frankenstein than clearly I am? Does it seem like maybe Guillermo is pulling more things from the book than we've seen in previous iterations? Or is there a bunch of stuff here that clearly Guillermo is adding to create his version of Frankenstein? Either way you go, though, if it's an adaptation or his own version, like how excited does that make you? And how excited are you to see Guillermo play in this world? And then what do you think about what's being given? Like I said, the scope and scale feels massive here, which is why it sucks it's not going to theaters. But I love the visuals that you're getting. I love what we're getting from the performances. Who's standing out the most for you? What are you looking forward to? What are you concerned about? What are you most excited for? Anything you got, good, bad, indifferent, on the official teaser trailer for Frankenstein. Put it down below in the comment section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime. We're talking movies, TV, trailer reactions. You want to be here in July to see my thoughts on Frankenstein. You just dig the vibe. You want to show a little love and support to the old C-Man. Well, come join C-Maniac Nation. It's super easy. Jump over there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time, for the C-Man's Cinema, sit down. I've been the C-Man, and I am signing off. Peace.
C-Maniac Nation, you look nervous. Is it the scars? Would you like to know where I got them? No? Well, then maybe you'd like to see another video with the C-Man. How about up here or over here? And if you really dig the C-Man, well, then show him a little love right over there.